Hello everyone and welcome to another video from the How to Make an Album series. This time it's about the song Hold My Hand, and it's on the piano, this one, and it's a song I've been playing since around October last year when I wrote it, and I wrote it from a dream pretty much, and I'll tell you the story about it after I play it, but suffice it to say, it's one of the most definitive songs for this album concept that I have in mind, or at least it encompasses a lot of the themes that I want to express along the lines of love, war stuff, and the self-destruction and kind of loneliness and exasperation with the world, and also the need to connect and to reach out, and also the absurdity of life. So it has a bit of all that. So here goes. Hold my hand. We made it again to the promised land. The questions we never got to the bottom of. I can see the lights at the end. Ain't there a bigger truth than a lie? It's a mystery and a deep concern, how we shall ever love one another. We might just fall into a great hole and get smashed up against each other. I never thought I might learn how to fly, expanding my infinite horizon. In truth, I expected to crawl just like a worm for the rest of my pitiful existence. Hold my hand and push me off a ledge. Hold it tight though, so you can save me. Hold my hand and push me off a ledge. Hold it tight though, so you can save me. Pull my finger and grab me by the hair. You always knew how to bless me. I don't need you, don't need anyone. Can be alone forever. Read my lips as I tell you to fuck off. The online spaghetti of nanofiber dreams. The spider in my bathroom sings loudly of his daughter. I sit and weep in the shower. Hold my hand and push me off a ledge. Hold it tight though, so you can save me. Push me off a ledge. Hold it tight though, so you can save me. I can see you there in the foggy dark, reflecting the lights of the fireflies. All them pretty bugs would love to fly around, circling and entering your eyes. You had your tongue out and shook your head. Ain't nothing like it, so scary. I stopped to breathe and you punched me in the throat. I gasped and remember beauty. Oh, you treat me so nice and kind. I couldn't believe the power in your voice to save and to cure my weary mind. You're gravitational and I never had a choice. You found me in the dark, looking like a fool. Look like a scary motherfucker. I tell you no lie, if I die right now, I still remember your laughter. Hold it tight so you can save me. Hold my hand and push me off the ledge. Hold it tight so you can save me. Self-destruction, that's the name of the game. Isn't my life so special? I'm closing my eyes to time. Ain't nothing that I can't see. Walking in a straight line into paths that I've never crossed, feeling the rocks from under my feet, through the blood and calluses, watching close as my eyes start to bleed. I become a walking fountain. Eventually I lay myself down on the side of the mountain. Hold my hand and push me off a ledge. Hold it tight though so you can save me. Hold my hand and push me off a ledge. Hold it tight though so you can save me. Hold my hand and push me off a ledge. Hold it tight though so you can save me. Hold my hand and push me off a ledge. Hold it tight though so you can save me. Save me. Yeah, Well, and that's my song. And now to get a little bit into the process of writing it. Well, I made it for my Weekly Beats one song a week series, and this was in October, and I can tell you exactly the week that I made it. It was week 41, around 13 October, 10 October, and the way I made it is, first of all, the song started from this line, the chorus line, the hold my hand and push me off a ledge, but hold me tight so you can save me. And it has that push and pull, it has that kind of absurdity that you're sort of imagining how this could even work physically, right? But the meaning of it definitely resonates in many ways with different types of feelings, because it can be about romantic love, but it can also be a little bit about more societal or even family love, or some kind of friendship or relation, any kind of relationship or any kind of interpersonal thing. And it can even be about religion if you go that far, and it can even be about somehow suicide or something like that. So anyway, I mean, it has a lot of themes in it, and I can read you a little bit snippets from what I originally wrote when I put it up on Weekly Beats. So I woke up one day and had the main chorus in my head: hold my hand and push me off a ledge, but hold it tight so you can save me. There's something pure about this feeling, a reckless abandon, a yearning for self-destruction and salvation through trust, and also something very absurd and contradictory about it, which I absolutely love. The rest of the lyrics are literal mumbles I recorded into my phone right after waking up, afraid to open my eyes from fear that I would forget even a single word. They came to me as you hear them mostly, and I transcribed them from the recording. They weren't in tempo or anything, and there was a bit of adjusting to fit the music and a bit of rhyming, but mostly it's clean cut from the dream, which makes this song my fourth song from a dream. I'm beginning to see a pattern here. Yeah, it's true. So, the way it worked, and I can show you a little snippet from a concert that I did before that with Nicolas Hein on the bass, and it was a fully improvised concert. But of course, in a fully improvised concert, you have snippets of stuff that's going through your mind, and this line made an appearance. It wasn't the full song, but I had written it, I think, already on notes, and I was gonna figure out the chords or whatever. But it all appears. Let's have a listen. Yeah, so here I am in Logic with the recording from my old concert from 3rd October 2024, and I can show you a little bit of a. Well, here's how it started. Very avant-garde, you know? And then it went like that for about 5 minutes. I played kind of a blues number. Good Day Blues. Yeah, this is a Good Day Blues. So anyway, I was kept playing that, but then at the end of the Good Day Blues,
I woke up this day. I had a song in my mind. It was a song about holding hands. It went something like,
Much more of a drunken feel on this one, but nice harmonies.
Hold my hand and throw me from the ledge. Hold on tightly so you can save me.
Yeah, but you can see no lyrics apart from the middle part, and then the rest is just improvised. So I think from here it's just like a lot of piano solo.
What it means, but it makes me think it's gotta mean something. It's not every day that you meet the dream version of yourself.
Interesting. So it was myself in a dream that was holding my hand and stuff. But of course, in the new song, in the new version, I mean, people have.
Version of me was an interesting fella. Was awfully quiet. Just had a look on my face, on his face, which was my face. I wonder how he saw me. Probably talked a lot compared to him.
Okay, yeah, we don't have to listen to all of that nonsense, but you can see the original inspiration started from this line. And then we even played it, and it was a very small, cozy show, you know. Maybe 5 people, maybe 3 people came, something like that. But great vibe, and we have the recording. We got to do something with it eventually. But now you have an idea what we were doing. Yeah, so after this version, I I had the lyrics from this dream, or maybe it was a second dream, something like that. I don't know, but I had them all written down in that week, or that maybe that weekend. I had the dream. I wrote the lyrics, and I remember waking up and having this whole scenario in my head, and I was too afraid to open my eyes in case I forgot them. So I fumbled for my phone. Somehow I opened it just enough to get the recording started, and then just said the lyrics as they came. And the timing of them was a little bit tricky, because in the dream it all made sense, but in real life some of the lines were too short or whatever for the songs, and so I adapted them. But let's have a look at the lyrics. Okay, so I'm using OBS, and I set up the screen like this. So here's my lyrics in Obsidian I'm using. So yeah, we made it again to the promised land. The questions we never got to the bottom of. And the to the bottom of is a kind of nice rhythmical pattern to it. I can see the lights at the end. Ain't there a bigger truth than a lie? And of course the grammar of all this is peculiar, but it's a song. It's important that it has the flow, even though, yeah, I don't know the source of this grammar or why I'm writing it like this, but it just makes sense to me. So, and what can I say about the promised land, questions, the lights at the end of the tunnel, whatever, and then of course the truth and lies and fake news and things. I mean, there's a lot going on in this one verse already. I mean, the promised land, what's that? Is it about Palestine and stuff like that? I don't know. Is it about the afterlife? Is it just about the promised land? It's just home for everyone, wherever, whatever it might mean for you. I think it's quite resonant. The questions we never got to the bottom of. I can see the lights at the end, and bigger truth than a lie. So it's just like all of history is a lie, and sometime you're gonna die. This kind of vibe, I don't know. The thing is, when I wrote it, I had something in mind, and yeah, as seen in this original concert footage, it was me in the dream who was holding my hand. So it's like an introspective thing as well. But it totally makes sense to be like about somebody else as well. And the fact that it's about the promised land and stuff like that and being lied to. I mean, it can be a relationship, it can be other societal stuff too. It's a mystery and a deep concern how we shall ever love one another. To me, this is a societal thing. It's not about two people. Even though in the song, I mean, it makes sense. It's hold my hand, and it's kind of one person holding each other, the other person's hand. Um, love, but what loving one another. When I wrote it, the idea was how can we love one another in society? We might just fall into a great hole. I don't know if this is hell or just a literal hole. Get smashed up against each other. Just a funny image. I don't know. Just makes you think about all kinds of weird scenarios. Never thought I could learn to fly, expanding my infinite horizon. In truth, I expected to crawl like a worm for the rest of my pitiful existence. Again, a lot of imagery and a lot of metaphors for life's ambition and getting older, and how does that relate to the pursuit of love, to use the title of another song, or but just yeah, how it all relates to life, to yeah. So totally rambling, but this is how I write these lyrics. This is what I feel when I read them, when I write them. Would love to see what other people think about it. And I mean, with this video, I'm totally like changing people's thoughts about what this song is about. So I don't know if it's the right approach, because I like the idea to leave it a little bit mysterious and let people make their own mind. But I mean, that's gonna happen anyway. Not nobody's gonna watch this long video. So, and thank you for watching, by the way. Hold my hand, push me off a ledge, hold it tight so you can save me. I mean, I guess we introduced the whole hole, and that's why this starts to make sense with pushing me off the ledge and learning to fly and so on. And the relationship, I guess, with the seeing the lights at the end and being pushed into a hole kind of makes sense. This is where I kind of thought it's starting to sound a bit like the song is about somebody trying to end their life, which was really not my intention initially, but it really fits also that kind of thing. And I even wrote in my Weekly Beats entry, I wrote, guys, don't worry, I'm actually fine. I'm not depressed or anything. It's just the song seems to actually have those kind of call outs to, like, yeah, some kind of inner trauma or something you might read into the lyrics, but it's not really about that. But it could be, you know. So then it goes into a weird two verses. Pull my finger, grab me by the hair. You always knew how to bless me. I don't need you, need anyone. Can't be alone forever. Classic topic, loneliness. A weird, again, kind of push and pull, kind of need for connection, and also it's maybe not a healthy type of connection. I think this can resonate with a lot of people in a lot of different ways, even though it's a completely absurd thing to talk about. Read my lips as I tell you to fuck off. I mean, just because of this one entrance of the word, it will probably be an issue for me. So let's see. I sometimes replace the read my lips as I tell you to bugger off, which also works, and it's much cleaner, right? Bugger. The online spaghetti of nanofiber dreams. So this is where it gets interesting, because it's not about bugger off, but it's about bugger off from the online spaghetti of nanofiber dreams. It's all this kind of technology gets into the mix. Spider in my bathroom sings loudly of his daughter. I sit and weep in the shower. Look, don't get me to explain this line because I can't. It's a spider in my bathroom sings loudly of his daughter. How does a spider sing loudly? And do spiders have daughters? How does that work? Don't they have like thousands of babies? It's ridiculous. But it makes you think about, I guess, a daughter. It makes you think about crying in the shower. We all know the feeling. Maybe you haven't done it, but you know what it's like, what it could be like potentially. I hope you don't sit and cry in the shower too much. And yeah, I hate being stuck in the online spaghetti of nanofiber dreams. I guess that's where the spider comes in as well. It's the web, the getting stuck in the web, and it's all that relationship. So I think in this introduction of all the lyrics and analyzing them, I'm trying to also show you how everything is so interconnected, and through these kind of imagery, I'm trying to communicate things not in such a clear way that you understand something from it, but in a more fever dream kind of way that you're simply getting something out of it, but you don't know what it is. And I think that's really nice sometimes in music. But of course, in other songs, I'm very explicit and using the most simple language and just clear things. So then another refrain. So I guess just to get into the structure a little bit already, I start with three verses that are all fairly similar, and then the refrain I call the chorus. But then two more verses, because also three would be a lot, but also because that's just what I have to say in this portion. And the idea is to switch it up a little bit, even though it's such a long song. Gotta keep it interesting. And I actually talked to some songwriters in a big circle, and we were all giving each other feedback or whatever just the other day. And I got a little feedback of it could need a little something in this part of the song. Around 2 minutes in, every 2 minutes you gotta do something to the melody, something to make it fresh again, because it's such a long song you could get bored from it, obviously, like any long song. But I mean, it's not about being boring, it's also cool to get into this trance, so it could work. But yeah, so I try to do that. I mean, pull my finger. When I say that, everybody's like, whoa, as you usually that's how it goes on stage. And that's another point, that when you play on stage anything like this, and get people's real reactions, it's better than any feedback, because you can read that people are engaging with it in the way you expected to, or if what they say is different from what they feel, because you can see it by the reactions, how they really feel. So, and of course, read my lips as I tell you to fuck off. Very strong line. People usually pay attention to that one. And then as they pay attention to it, I come in with the online spaghetti of nanofiber dreams, and they're like, what? So yeah, hold my hand, push me over ledge again. And in this part, it's definitely similar to the first one, and that's where it gets a little bit tricky. Like, okay, it's too much, but I'm hammering it into your head by now, so very memorable at this point, the chorus. And after each chorus, I do a little bit of a solo, but I mean, that's the discussion maybe for after this part, where how do I arrange it? How do I structure it so it stays interesting? Because it's nice to put a little the melody is pretty clear, and it works with the instrumental as well. So it's nice to kind of reference it. Although I guess the first time you reference it, second time would be nice to go somewhere else with the melodic stuff on the piano, just to keep it interesting again. And of course, it needs to go pretty mellow at the end of this part, whatever the piano part is, because I could see you there in the foggy dark, reflecting the lights of the fireflies. All them pretty bugs would love to fly around, circling and entering your eyes. And that feeling of discomfort, and first it's kind of quiet and dark and mysterious, but also dreamy with the fireflies. I think it's all about the imagery in this song, and it's all about the metaphors and what could it mean. I mean, this is really pretty direct. It's just bugs entering your eyes. That's the idea. Like your eyes are glowing or something, and they're attracted to your eyes. I guess, yeah, this is where it gets really more personal, because who is the you in the song? And at this feedback session, people are like, yeah, and she's doing this and that, and where is she? Can you describe her? And I was like, what are you talking about? There is no her in the song. I've never mentioned that it's a she or whatever. But I mean, people make their assumptions, right? So of course, if I'm a dude singing about you do this and that, it's like automatically a love song, and it must be heteronormative and so on. So, and I mean, yeah, I mean, fair enough. I am a heterosexual male. That's then you can put two and two together, but it's not necessarily about that. This song is not about one-to-one romantic love, and it's not that simple. Because again, in the dream, it turns out it was actually me. And then in this particular line, I think I'm just imagining the audio. I'm just listening. I'm imagining the listener, and that's who I see out there in the foggy dark. The listener becomes a character in this crazy story, and their eyes are being attacked by bugs. And then, of course, if we get into it, you had your tongue out and shook your head. Ain't nothing like it so scary. I stopped to breathe and you punched me in the throat. I gasp and remember beauty. Weird scenario. Who does that? Don't do that, please. But it's a cool image for a song, and it speaks again to a combination of pulling and pushing, of connection and destruction, self-destruction. If it's me in the song punching myself in the throat and stuff, and I'm kind of resetting my brain somehow. I don't know. There's a lot going on in these. You can spend days talking about it and dissecting it, I think. Because when it's a little bit abstract, it starts giving you many possibilities. So yeah, the ultimate songwriting to me gives a lot of layers. Every word has many meanings. So I feel like I'm getting into that type of idea in this song. So this is the third time I come in with some verses. I guess it's the 8th verse. So that's why I go straight into the bridge. And I discovered this structure after playing it a few times live, because in the very first time I played it live, I had the bridge, but I didn't know the chords that I wanted to do for it. And then in the end, when I reached that portion and I had my lyrics there, I basically skipped the bridge and I went straight into the last part. And it still worked because I changed much more stuff in the beginning, but the bridge is important to switch it up. And also, after these two verses, you don't want to hear another chorus. You already done it twice. It's just boring at this point. It's always the rule of two. I learned it from Brett Perkins, who learned it from some other guy. Talk about the rules in songwriting. There are no rules, but do you know about the rule of two? Which is don't do anything more than twice. If you do it twice, the third time you gotta change it somehow, because that keeps it interesting. two repetitions legitimizes it, but then the third one you want to have the variation because that's how you move forward in the structure of music. That's kind of a rule of thumb. Of course, you can change it, but it kind of works. So in this case, I go straight to the bridge, and it's the first time I really modulate. So before this, I go gasp and remember beauty. Oh, you treat me so nice and kind. I couldn't believe the power in your voice to save and to cure my weary mind. Ah, you're gravitational, and I never had a choice. So it's definitely some kind of love thing, or some kind of protective thing. It cannot. I don't think about love explicitly when I'm singing. When I wrote these, treat me so nice and kind. I couldn't believe the power in your voice. And gravitation. It's some kind of religious vibe. I mean, this whole phrase is very religious-like, very gospel-like, you know. So in that same vein, power in your voice is very cult-like. And I'm not a religious guy, but this type of spirituality or spiritual feeling in a song I can appreciate because it resonates with people. It makes you think of whatever is important to you in a spiritual sense. And I mean, it's important to people. Some people, you know, it's the most important thing for them. So it's nice to touch upon it somehow. Then you found me in the dark, looking like a fool, look like a scary bastard, if I want to have the clean version, you know. But I like the sound of a look like a scary motherfucker. You know, just has a funny sound to me. Very unexpected. I tell you no lie, if I die right now, I still remember your laughter. There's definitely much more love than the other stuff because with all the laughter. But it's not necessarily. It can be a platonic thing. It can be about family. It can be about friendship or just somehow societal thing. It can be. I mean, how does a societal thing with the laughter? Maybe not societal in this particular context. I mean, if we take it, it's societal. And if I die right now, I'll still remember your laughter. It can be a thing that I'm remembering the laughter as a good thing, it's such an impactful thing for me. It's so important that I'll remember it even after I die. Or it can be that I'm being laughed at, and I'll still remember your laughter as a mockery, you know, because I'm looking like a fool, like a scary bastard. I mean, the laughter can be about, haha, you're such a fool and a bastard. So it's very two-sided, and I really wanted to entertain this two-sidedness. And Hold My Hand, now it comes in after the bridge with a refreshed, we've changed it so we can do it again. And at this point, even though we can sort of do it again after something changed, it needs to have a different feel. So either here, I'm thinking in the arrangement now, do I get into something very soft, almost no piano, taking breaks and stuff? Maybe I do that in this, I could see there in the Foggy Dark, the third time I come in with verses, because it also makes sense in the Foggy Dark and the Firefly stuff. That would fit very well with some kind of clinkly sound that's more soft, and then goes into crazy stuff. But here, I definitely need to build up somehow to the like I did in this recording, with the kind of very thick sound, very intense. And actually, when I play it, I get so tired and smashed because it's actually kind of difficult on a piano to really do this wall of sound. So, and I take it as part of the performance because this kind of tiredness really pushes me to let go when I sing it. So that's when I sing about self-destruction. That's the name of the game. Isn't my life so special? Yeah, I don't know what it means, how to explain it, how to uh, and I have some ideas. It's again with this. It's a little bit looping back to the beginning with the promised land. With the my life is so special. I'm in the promised land, which can be heaven, can be about war and conflict and the Middle East type thing. Not so much for me though, because I don't really identify with that cause. Of course, I support the right of all people to be free and the Palestinians, to not be harassed and oppressed by the invaders in Israel and so on. Uh, but in this song, so it can kind of connect to that feeling as well. But it's also a lot about privilege and maybe the West privilege type thing, right? My life's so special. I'm closing my eyes to time. Ain't nothing that I can't see. It's like again with some kind of prophecy thing, prophet. I see everything. I'm walking in a straight line into paths I never crossed, feeling the rocks from under my feet through the blood and calluses. It's got a lot of religion somehow. To me, it's like paths I never crossed. It used to be something like walking in a straight line into paths I never seen, which is stupid because I can see everything. There's nothing that I can't see. Or maybe you misunderstand it if that's the line I've never seen, so it ain't nothing that I can see, which means I cannot see anything. So that's not what I meant. I wanted to say I'm closing my eyes to time and I can see everything in space and time, kind of omnipresence, omniscience, whatever you call it. Very religion themed. Walking a straight line in the past I never crossed, feeling the rocks from under my feet through the blood and calluses. Classic kind of with the walk with the cross to the freaking place and you're barefoot. Watching close as my eyes start to bleed, I become a walking fountain. Love this image. Eventually, I lay myself down on the side of the mountain, and then again, with a hole in my hand, push me off a ledge. Similar again to the imagery of the big hole we're all falling down into. Yeah, cult-like behavior, weird, weird story, and yeah, like I said, in terms of the arrangement and stuff, this needs to be very intense, and that's where when it's piano solo, then I go with this kind of a thick thing with the pedal. And then either when I lay myself down on the side of the mountain, I go really quiet. I lay myself down on the side of the mountain. Hold my hand and push me off a ledge. Something like that, where I kind of go quiet and then the final chorus, give it everything I got. Or I stay high energy through the whole thing. One of those options. So of course on the album version I'll be able to try both and see which one I like and how, and then based on that I'll probably mess around in the live. Of course I can always change it live and do something else. So those are the kind of thoughts behind the lyrics. It's really more of a rambling mess, I realize, but I hope it gives you a little bit of insight and a little bit of inspiration, maybe if you're never thought about this kind of stuff, or if you're curious about how lyrics in songs might work. I mean, a lot of it is still only it's starting from the sound of it and the weird imagery, and then it starts getting a meaning. So, for example, the online spaghetti of nanofiber dreams is kind of a phrase that I came up with. It's not particularly chosen that it's the online spaghetti, it's about a web, it's blah blah. But weird line came first, then I realized, it can mean so many things. So, a kind of a burst of inspiration. And I don't know how this burst of inspiration happened. Like I said, from a dream, so a lot of subconscious stuff. And I just let myself write it and then see what happens. So it's good to really go with the flow in a lot of these situations. And it's definitely in contrast to the dream song, because there I really worked on each line to fit it to a haiku, to fit it in the meaning and have some kind of theme around whatever I was doing. And yeah, so that one is a different process, but here you can see it's a very intuitive process. Yeah, interesting. Anyway, something else I wanted to talk about in terms of the the structure of the song. It's a long song, but it's got a lot to go through, so I'll take it. In this performance I started pretty definitive, but actually I can show you a little snippet of the first time I played it live, and it has a very nice touch in the beginning. Of course, it's missing the bridge, and it's a little bit more chaotic, and the rhythm is completely unstable and stuff, much slower, because I'm a little bit more afraid of what I'm doing. But it's got a nice feel. That's always the case with first takes. It has usually the right feel and the most honest thing. And then every time you play it again, it gets more and more perfect, but it loses that charm of the first take. So you got to take a big break before you do another first take in a day, so that you can capture that essence of the song. So yeah, here I am in Logic again, and show you the first time I played it live. Start very, very slow, like a hymn. Like I said, very unsure.
We made it again to the promised land.
Pretty much.
Questions we never got to the bottom of. I can see the lights at the end. Ain't there a bigger truth than a lie?
So very whispery.
It's a mystery and a deep concern, how we shall ever love one another. We might just fall into a great hole and get smashed up against each other. I never thought I could learn how to fly.
The emotion is there, the technique is missing.
My infinite horizon. In truth, I expected to crawl just like a worm.
Just like a, instead of just like a worm. You know what I mean?
Of my pitiful existence. Hold my hand.
I missed the one there. Should be
Hold. Push me off a ledge. But hold it tight so you can save me. Hold my hand.
maybe this tempo is actually better.
Push me off a ledge. Hold it tight so you can save me.
whisper.
I don't need you. I don't need anyone. Can be alone forever. Read my lips as I tell you to bugger off. The online spaghetti of nanofiber dreams. The spider in my bathroom sings loudly of his daughter. I see them weep in the shower. Hold my hand and push me off the ledge.
Well, from here on, it's more of the same from this performance, except there's no bridge, so it's really like verse, verse, hold my hand, and I even play hold my hand 4 times instead of 2, both in the middle here and in the end. I think both because I wasn't really sure how it feels, how many times to do it, and didn't have the bridge thing figured out. And yeah, after listening, it really made me think how to adjust things to keep it more interesting. Even though it's such a long song, keep it fresh, for lack of a better word. But what I like about this intro is, yeah, all the emotion. What I don't like is the lack of rhythm. What I also like is the dynamics, and it's very quiet and careful in different parts. And the chords are a little bit more interesting. I'm doing something like... something like that to change at some point. Yeah, so something to think of, what to do with the harmonies, with changing up the melody, so it's interesting in the second part there. And yeah, so I got this paper from the other day when I showed the song to some songwriters and musicians, and we had the feedback round. And basically, they said it's a lot like Lord of the Rings, and it feels very complete and has cool imagery. And then who is she in the song? She's not so present, and it would be nice to know more about her and painting her in the song. And it's not the first time somebody said that about this song. And my response is, I mean, sure, if that's what you think, but what she? Which she? Because she's not even mentioned as a her in the song. And it's on purpose that it's left unclear that who is this other character, because like I said in the beginning, actually the inspiration early on is that it was me in a dream world talking to myself and meeting myself and holding myself by the hand and letting go and this kind of stuff. And then it can be a societal thing where everybody is you from the song and holding me by the hand and stuff. Or of course it can be a romantic she, or it can be just a platonic she, or it can be some, or he. It can be like the direct one you're addressing the songs to. But when you're listening and you're creating your own image of who this person is from the song, I don't want to ruin it. I want to let you have your imagination and your own interpretation of it, because then it's very interesting that each person will have their own experience of this song. So that's kind of the idea behind who is she, But I mean, it's a fair feedback if you're just considering that the song doesn't explore that aspect at all. It's all about me, me, me. So fair enough. But I think I'm gonna keep that. And then in terms of yeah, they reference some the Irish songwriter Sean something. I didn't catch the name. Actually, I think they didn't even say it. Leonard Cohen, this vibe thing, and Berlin guy Rainer von Feld. Somebody said that I need to check out. So they gave me a lot of references, and yeah, definitely some kind of Leonard Cohen thing with the storytelling, with the voice, with a deep voice. I don't even have such a deep voice to really do that kind of thing, but I do have a delivery that fits. So yeah, that's kind of the feedback. And I think yeah, in the final production, I will have a look at some of these for inspiration to figure out how I can communicate the song in what style and what instrumentation, what layers can I do. And I'm not sure I mentioned this before in the video, but I'll do the cuts later. But when I do the rhythmical part, well, when in the start it's very unclear what's the rhythm of it. It's just on the one. How we shall ever love one another. I mean, in a way, it's with this kind of it becomes more clear that it's kind of a 3/4. This phrase, I never thought it's the one that gives it away. But what's nice about it also in terms of the pulse of the song, later on I have this this dotted note. This kind of bridge. So this unclear, unbalanced rhythm where it switches between 2 and 3, I think is also an element that contributes to the dreamy feel, to the unstable, to the not abstract, absurd scenarios with the spider and all this stuff. So very intentional, and in the production I'm gonna have to see, because when we tried it for the first time with a drummer, just as a little experiment, it didn't really work out because they went for a 3 thing from the beginning. It's too much. It needs to be much more sparse and much more unclear until it gets defined, and then the big crescendo, it needs to really smash the and then this kind of smashing to create that big crescendo near the end. So yeah, definitely not something that the Levy, the drummer from Logic, can do. So it has to be a real drummer, if any, and it's gonna be a very interesting process. For now, that's the song. This is kind of how I played it live, and the thoughts behind it. Thanks for watching, and I hope it wasn't too ridiculously long and boring. But I mean, it's interesting for me and helpful to go through these thoughts behind the song, because it helps me understand it more. And a lot of the time is not so much about actually putting words to it, it's about the feel, and if it feels right, that's how it should be, and you just put it out. With music, it's not always possible to describe in words what works, but I still think it's very interesting to try. So I hope you agree, and hope you enjoy this episode, and thanks so much for watching. Be sure to check out the other episodes if you're interested, and follow along to the How to Make an Album, because the production stuff, I still don't know what we're gonna do. It's gonna be very exciting, so look forward to that. And thanks, and hope to see you later. Bye bye. Have a nice day.